Hello, I'm Ivy.
And I'm James, and welcome to Chi Fine Tea's drinking today of Phoenix Mountain Lightning Mutated Oolong Tea.
Yeah.
A little slippery, that one.
The special, very special Phoenix Mountain oolong tea, because on the mountain, if you like honey orchid and honeysuckle, a lot of people will grow that tea tree, but lightning is very, very rare.
Well, it all comes from one mother tea tree, doesn't it, that was struck by lightning in the 70s?
Yeah, in the 70s, struck by the lightning. And at the very beginning, the tea grower is very sad because the tea tree is actually over 400 years old, and he lose two big branch that is struck by the lightning and it break and it died, that part, that two big branch. And we'll have a photo over here, you can see. And
honey, is that photo gonna cover my face up? You're just gonna put it right in front of my face. So anyway, you won't see this right here, so it's no problem. I can just keep talking, it doesn't matter.
It'll be here. And then after that struck by the lightning, but the spring, next spring, they still make the tea out of it, because there's three or four big branch over there still alive, survived out of that lightning. And after they made that tea that year, they found out it's a lot higher fragrance, a lot complex flavor than a lot stronger flavor than before. And they're very surprised and they're really happy, but they don't know what's happening because that tea is actually water immortals, and all in that area have maybe 20 something all water immortals, and that tea doesn't taste that strong before. And they just asked the Cha people, the science work in the tea government department, come up to the mountain. And
yes, China has a tea government department because they make an enormous amount of tea there, and they have research, and they have people that are helping with the marketing and doing all kinds of stuff with tea. So it is an entire government department.
It is those are serious tea science people, and they tested out the tea tree, and they proved the lightning changed the gene of that tea tree.
And that's not actually that surprising. I mean, lightning is extraordinarily powerful, and DNA is extraordinarily weak, surprisingly. In fact, human DNA is a really, really big, highly folded molecule, and it's very, very prone to mutations. Well, if you look at anything like bacteria and viruses, they're mutating all the time. That's why antibiotics and things like that are continually needing to be changed, because the DNA of those microorganisms is changing and adapting. So a little bit of a frightening statistic is that every single cell in your body mutates between 1,000 and 1 million times per day. The DNA mutates just under normal conditions. It's caused by oxidation, it's caused by stress, it's caused by environmental molecules, it's caused by sunlight, it's caused by anything. DNA is a really fragile molecule and really easily damaged. Well, of course, you have systems in your body that repair that DNA, but it doesn't always work, hence aging. And that's what happens when DNA is broken down. And identical twins, Ivy said an identical twin, they're not 100% exact DNA because there are changes along the way. Once the cells separate and they become individuals, well, the DNA starts to change a little bit. So they're not 100% identical. Hence, I can tell Ivy and her twin sister apart, thankfully. But anyway, the tea tree did not recover from that lightning struck event. The DNA changed, and the leaf morphology, which is the shape and the thickness of the leaf, it changed as well, which is really bizarre. So even though all these trees had identical DNA, they came from the same mother tree, a water immortal, and they all came from cuttings. They were cut and planted, and they grew up into trees, exact same DNA. Yeah. It changed enough that the leaf shape and the flavor and the fragrance of the molecules it made change. And that's what's the amazing event about lightning mutated.
We're at lightning mutated mother tea tree right now. You can see the one circled by the rock over here is the lightning mutated mother tea tree. It's very, very old. It's over 400 years old. You can see how thick the trunk is over here and full of moss. It's struck by the lightning at the late 70s, and after it's struck by the lightning, it changed the gene of this tea tree. Actually, originally this tea tree is 水仙, and you can see the difference between all the tea tree here are 水仙, but you can see the difference of the leaves. This lightning mutated mother tea tree is very narrow, very small, and also really straight and a lot thicker here. And this one is another 水仙. You can see the leaf is a lot different. The leaf is a lot softer and thinner, and also a lot rounder and wider here.
Oh, and what a great
Honey, I'm gonna drink this
happy
cup,
circumstance
okay?
it was. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Very high fragrance. This is the...
Honey, usually I get 2 cups and you get 1 because I'm a little bigger than
but
you.
you're busy talking.
Oh, okay, that's true. Okay. Good point. That's fair.
Very good.
Yes, it sure is.
I would say lightning will have the highest high mountain feeling, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think I can feel it. And this is the first brew.
This is the hydration brew, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of times people throw it away, but for our tea, because it's very high fragrance and we keep the high fragrance really long, we wanted to drink the hydration brew because you can experience the changing better. And also, when we do the tea quality judge on the tea mountain, when we decided which tea we're gonna do this year, we also drink the hydration brew, because if the hydration brew is very high fragrance, that is a big good in our heart too for this tea, that we may decided to do it.
So let's have the second brew, or the real first brew.
You want to smell the fragrance first?
Absolutely, yes.
There you go, honey.
That is a very strong forward fragrance. That's a lot stronger and a lot thicker. God, can you really say the fragrances are... It's a lot thicker than honey orchid or honeysuckle, which are more floating and high fragrance, for me at least.
You can see the color is dark green, and the fragrance actually smells dark green, because if every tea have a color, this would be dark green, really rich fragrance.
And what color would peach be?
Peach
flower fragrance. Say it. We all know.
Purple.
Creamy purple. That's right. Creamy purple. That'll be for another future video.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna brew the second brew, the real first brew.
So, honey, when you're on the tea doing all this stuff, and when we're on the mountains doing all this stuff, what is one of the first thing that you, as a senior tea quality judge in China, what is one of the first things you look for on Phoenix Mountain teas? I mean, is there something before you even get the tea? Is there some parameter you're looking for? Something about the weather or anything?
Well, at least it needed. At least it needed to be a sunny day. Otherwise, we don't even need to go out, because we know if it's a rainy day, fortunately on the mountain during the harvest season of Phoenix Mountain oolong tea, it's raining season, and if there is sunny day, that day's tea will be very good. Actually, to be more strict about the quality, it needed to be 2 sunny days before it picked. So it can rain one day and then sunny, and the third sunny day would be really good. Yeah. And
there's obviously a chemical reason for that, a molecular reason for that, as there is with everything that comes from plants, and that is that during a rainy day, for reasons unknown, what it benefits the tea leaf, it will change on Phoenix Mountain from making really floral, fragrant molecules to making things that are more characteristic of coffee. The actual molecule it makes is chlorogenic acid. Chlorogenic acid is something that you find in coffee, like 8 to 12% by weight, depending on where the beans come from and such, and the environmental conditions there. But it is very characteristic of coffee. It's a little bitter, it's a little astringent, a little bit metallic, and that's what people like in coffee. But that's really not good in Phoenix Mountain oolong teas at all, and that's exactly what we want to avoid. So on sunny days, the tea tree makes almost 0 chlorogenic acid, but it makes a decent amount on rainy days. So just like we were talking about that DNA thing a second ago, it takes a little while for the molecules in the plant and the cells to switch over from making the enzymes and that enzyme system that makes chlorogenic acid to switch over to making the other more floral molecules. So they have to get rid of those enzymes, degrade them, make the new enzymes, start making the new molecules. Hence, 2 sunny days versus just 5 minutes of sun. The plant's not going to switch like that. It takes a little while. It's got to get rid of those old enzymes. So kind of cool to see that there's a reason for it, a scientific reason for it. But of course, the tea tree doesn't care. The tea tree is not there making molecules for humans' enjoyment. The tea tree is there making molecules for its own growth and propagation. That's what it's concerned about. But thankfully, there's a lot of great molecules that are in there, and we appreciate them very much.
Honey, I'm wondering, when we see tea and stuff, I mean, I see it by experience, the fragrance, all those part, color, everything. Do you see it by, when you see the tea, you see the molecules or stuff?
Okay. I don't see the molecule when I see the leaf.
In your mind.
When I drink it, in my mind, I'm seeing molecules. I'm thinking about different molecules. I'm thinking, ooh, there's some linalool. Or actually, it's pronounced linalool, but I don't like that pronunciation, so I just decided to pronounce it linalool myself. It sounds so much cleaner and nicer. And so I see that when I drink the tea.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, because
it's normal for me, of course. I mean, that's what I focus on, so I should be seeing that.
Yeah. That's really cool.
In this tea, right now, what I'm tasting is just great quality tea with a very unique flavor and fragrance signature for Phoenix Mountain, which are my favorite teas of all and ones that I drink every single day and love them every single day. And Lightning Mutated is something that I look forward to every year when it comes out. And
You want to smell it?
Yes. It smells.
It's so rich and deep.
That is such a nice fragrance.
Compared to honeysuckle, this one is a lot stronger, deeper fragrance and flavor. But it's kind of on the same way, because it's all very high fragrance. I feel like it's for the lightning is this way.
This tea also gives me that plush feeling, not as much as the honeysuckle does, but it's that plush, relaxing, full, rich kind of feeling you get, and it just increases the level of enjoyment for the tea. Can I get the other one?
Sure, honey. Go ahead.
Thought I'd be polite and ask before I just grab it.
Yeah, the color is very dark. This is the third brew, but it's still pretty tight up for the tea leaves. This tea, because they're thicker tea leaves when they're still the fresh leaves. Also, because of the lightning, probably it can brew a lot more brew compared to other ones. At least 15 brew out of it. Brew another brew.
Thank you. I remember a few years ago, we had a guy come to the tea shop when we had that back in Portland, and he said, he was looking at the teas and talking to us, said, "Oh my God, you got a tea named Lightning." Well, my nickname is Lightning, so I'm getting this tea for sure. I thought that was quite the interesting happenstance. And he tasted the tea, and not sure if it's because he did love the tea or just because the connection between his name, but he bought the tea and he said he absolutely loved it. And if you're out there watching, send us a comment and let us know how you're doing and how things have been going. I haven't heard from him for a while. Oh, that's just a great tea.
Yeah. Do the trick that I told you on the honey orchid video. When you drink this tea, kind of after you swallow it, inhale from your mouth and close your mouth, breathe out from your nose, and the high mountain feeling is very, very obvious for the lightning.
This tea has no bitterness, no astringency, no bake notes. It's just pure floral goodness and rich, fruity flavors all compressed together into something that you can drink and sip and enjoy and repeat and continue and continue and continue.
Yeah. this tea also, the high mountain feeling gave me a little older tea kind of feeling. Don't you think so?
Yeah. Like okay, I know what you mean. Instead of you know what this tea reminds me of? It reminds me of more like on a darker autumn day tea versus honey orchid and honeysuckle, which would maybe be more summer day teas, kind of.
And deeper in the tea mountain, older tea tree. I mean, the mother tea tree is over 400 years old. This tea, the tea that you got from our tea shop, is not the mother tea tree. It is the first generation, but still fairly old.
The mother tea tree is all picked personally by the grower who owns that tea tree. There's only one of them, and he sells it to the same people every single year for a extraordinary, ridiculous amount. No tea shops in the US have that tea. It is all ones that are from the first or second generation of teas. This particular one, our grower for this one, normally wins some awards for it, which is pretty nice, and we're pretty happy about that. And we've been working with him for many years in order to get the baking just right, so we maintain that floral, fruity, deep, rich fragrance and flavor that we want from this tea without having to over bake it to get shelf stability. But of course, remember, keep it in the freezer. Got a little stuck there.
Yeah, keep it in the freezer. Keep it in the zipper bag that we gave you. It's very important.
So these are foil-lined zipper bags. This keeps the light out, which you don't want in there. The light will cause oxidation. You don't want any fragrances, anything, any cooking, any spices, any perfumes, any incenses, anything like that going in here. Tea is like a sponge. It will absorb it all.
Yeah.
And then the cold temperature of the refrigerator, of the freezer actually, will keep the oxidation slowed way down.
Yeah.
So it'll slow the changes, which will degrade the flavor of the tea.
Yeah. But still, drink it right after you got this tea would be the best, because, well, don't save it. Oh, this tea is so special, and I'll save it a year and drink it. But you can, it will be good for several months, but it will be good for in the freezer. It will be good for a long time, but still, the best time is right after you got it. Start drinking it and enjoying it.
Each tea is different in the way it's processed, in the way it's grown, and the way it is consumed, and the way it's stored. For pu'er teas and white teas, they get better as they get older. But normally, most oolong teas don't. If you do want to store them for an extraordinarily long period of time, it takes years before they go to good again. So they start off really good, and we'll do a video of this later. They start off really good, they go downhill, and then after years, then they come up and start getting really good again. So Phoenix Mountain oolong teas, buy them that year, drink them that year, and then the next year buy some more and drink them. And you'll be at the peak of flavor. Which is what we want. We want everyone to enjoy them as much as we are right now.
Yeah.
Can I get a little bit of that? Can I get a little sip of that?
Sure. Opens up more. But you can see, until the whole leaf completely open up, it still got really, really good flavor. So this tea can still go, I'll say, at least 8, 9, 10 brews out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. And just keep going.
And by the way, don't anyone get worried and think about, oh my God, my DNA is mutating. Oh my God, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. It's happening in every single cell, every second of every day. Don't worry about it. It's natural. You have a repair system that takes care of that, and it's all okay. I'm just letting you know that, not to scare you, but just to make you understand how fragile a molecule DNA is, which is why in bacteria and viruses, the mutation is so fast that we're always having to come up with these new things to fight them, and they keep evading the things we're fighting, and they keep getting better and better and changing faster and faster. And that is what mutation is all about. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. A lot of times in humans, it's bad because things like a lot of UV light from the sun, that's going to damage your skin. It's going to age it. It's going to change the DNA, and it's going to change the molecules that make the blood in your DNA. There's been a recent study come out that said that one of the parts of aging is the part of the DNA in your body that makes blood molecules starts to change as you get older, and the blood molecules are no longer as affected. They're no longer as good. And that's just part of aging. So part of problems with DNA. DNA is not a perfect system, just like everything. It's not perfect.
But this is a happy accident.
Yes, it sure is. Let's have this brew, and then I want to say thank you everyone for coming and enjoying this. Ivy, thank you so much for letting us know about the tea.
Sure.
And hope everyone enjoyed it. And if you get a chance, try some Phoenix Mountain Lightning Mutated oolong tea and enjoy it just as much as we are.
Yep.
So it's time to say thanks to the tea trees for growing this. Thanks to the lightning for striking this mother tea tree. Thanks for the grower who was kind enough to let our grower get a cutting of the original mother tree so he could plant it, grow it out, and make great tea for us to enjoy, because our chance of getting some of that tea from the mother tea tree is 0.
Yeah.
And I still want to drink this tea on a regular basis. So thanks to all that, and thanks to this great water we have to brew the tea as well. A lot of things to be thankful for.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching.
Thank you.